What's up, everybody? Let's see, who do we have with us? We got Gustavo. Hey, guys. We got Brandy, Kim, Sylvia, Tammy, Natalie. Gianna's with us this week. Gianna, it's good to have you back. So great to see you. Man, you guys made it. You did it. It's week 6. Can you guys believe we already are here at the final celebration call? 6 weeks feels like it's going to be such a long commitment in the beginning, but gosh, you see how quickly it flies. All right, everybody get settled in. If you have your planners, definitely grab that. Let's see. All right. As always, guys, I want to hear from you. I want to see where you're at. Let's do a quick energy check-in in the chat. How are we feeling at week 6? What's going on with the mood? What's going on with the body? 1 through 10, where's everybody at? 8, mood is great. Beautiful. 7, 6. Okay. I'm over here at like I'm running at like a 9. I had such a great day though. Spontaneous trip to my hometown today. Was so not expecting that, but it's just I went and I visited my nana, the cemetery, and just did all these little like fulfilling things. Spent some time with my sister. It was great. Sylvia 6, Brandy energy 6, mood 7. Okay. I'm sure you guys have learned so much about your mood and your energy levels and what contributes to what throughout this entire process. See. All right, you guys. Oh, we got one more person coming in. Let's let Catherine in. If at the beginning, quick reminder, if at the beginning you guys took a before picture of just a full body, any areas of the skin, anything like that, just a reminder to take your after pictures today if you took before pictures. Also, if you did take before pictures and you are taking after pictures, send those to us. Email them to team@rogershood.com. We want to see them. We want to share them. Or you can also post them in the Facebook group as well if you're in the Facebook group. Also, quick announcement, we do have good news for you guys. We have decided to keep the chat open for you guys. We're not going to close it out. We're going to keep it open for now until the foreseeable future, until we start a new program in August. We may close it then. We might keep it open and shift this to the bug out community. You guys are inspiring us massively. So I also just want to say thank you so much for being such an engaged and active community, because that inspires us to figure out new ways on how to keep you guys together and connected even when the program's over. So right now we have collectively decided that we're going to let the chat run. We're going to let it do its thing. I know Alexandra took the initiative to create a separate chat, which is amazing. You guys rock out in that chat as well, but just so you know, the bug out chat won't be going anywhere. You still will have access to everything that's in there. Brandy said, yay! I know you guys are going to be happy about that. We're like, what are we going to do? We can't break up the squad. This feels not okay. All right, you guys. So week 6, post-cleanse integration. Now it's time. I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but it's time to recalibrate into non-cleanse life and figure out where cleanse life and non-cleanse life can weave together, and see which one of these modalities or practices or regimens or habits that you have developed throughout the time of being with us in this program that you want to continue, that you want to keep weaving into your days. It's not just something that's going to leave once the program's over. The habits and the rituals and the practices and all the things that you've committed to throughout this time. Kim was talking about last week, it takes 21 days to make a habit or break a habit. And now you guys have committed to multiple different things throughout this process, not just taking the tinctures, but also just eating differently and prioritizing different modalities and things like that. So we encourage you to be really, really intentional and intelligent about what you choose to keep with you. Like I said in the chat, in the signal chat earlier, this is a lifestyle shift, huge, massive lifestyle shift. This isn't something that's just a one and done. This is an experience where you learn so much about yourself, you learn so much about your body, and you just learn so many more details about the wellness journey in general. That, of course, you're going to want to keep a lot of those things and incorporate them into your daily life for the rest of your life. Now that we know so many keys to living well and having a happy, thriving body and just continuing our healing and wellness journeys. So we really, really hope that you take a lot of the things that you learn throughout this and you stick with it, baby. Stick with it. Okay, so today is all about you guys. Today we want to celebrate you guys and acknowledge you guys. Clearly we've done these cleanses many of times. We know what it takes. We know the level of commitment and devotion that you guys have really had to drop into to stay rooted in this commitment. And like I said, I know you guys have learned so many things along the way. So we want to do a group share. We want to hear from you. If you look in the planner, week 6 is all about really reflection, your greatest takeaways from this experience. And maybe the takeaways the community, maybe the takeaway is a certain modality and practice, maybe it's a certain level of self-reflection that you've gained throughout this process. But we want to hear from you. We want to celebrate you. We want to honor you. So we're going to go through and we want to hear all of your greatest takeaways. Also, in your own time, definitely be sure to dive into your planner for the plan to maintaining your results. Write down exactly what I said right now about how are you going to weave your way back into non-cleanse life. The first time I ever did this cleanse, I did it right before the holidays. And as soon as I was done with my cleanse, I just went straight into all the food, the alcohol, the family parties and get togethers. And my body felt it massively. It was not a graceful integration. And I don't want that for you guys. Been there, done that. Don't make the same mistakes that I did, because to a degree, it really pulls you back from a lot of the progress that you made. And I remember I immediately started feeling the brain fog again and the fatigue. And obviously, I was committed to doing more cleanses after that. So the next cleanse that I did, I was like, okay, I'm going to integrate this more intelligently. And I'm not just going to go gung ho for all the things that I've been stripping myself from and keeping myself away from. I'm going to weave my way in, keep a healthy harmony, keep a healthy balance so that I can maintain the progress that I've made within myself. So definitely take the time to dive into your planner and do your weekly reflection and planning for maintaining results. But for this call, we want to hear from you guys, your greatest takeaways. So we'll go through one by one and start a community group share. So let's see who we got in here. Brandy, can we hear from you first?
Hi. I feel like there's so many things. That's what I'm trying to reflect upon. Of course, I can't find my little book, but I have actually noticed feeling less anxious about things, and I feel like I've even, as the universe works, like with different friendships and different things that have kind of like blown up in my life, and the way to even face conflict. And it's a different way to attune to myself and to figure out how I'm feeling and how I want to get through it. So it's been a noticeable part of this journey for me. And I know when I've taken synthetics before, like I felt like I was always fighting something. It would always kind of go to the lymph of my neck. I just always felt like I had a virus. And this time, not that way, which has been fantastic, like smoother way to get through it. Cravings, like I like my potato chips like every day pretty much, but I've noticed that I have not been like gravitating towards that or the air hunger stuff or what, like that was just kind of always my go-to, my soothing way of kind of my process. But I've like noticed that that's not what I even want, or like here and there I'm like, do I want this? And I'm like, I'll just have a few. But so cravings have definitely changed. And yeah, I feel like the biggest thing is just attuning to like my physical self and noticing how emotions, like the stress affects my body and shuts me down in different ways, contracts in my intestines. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of being able to really know how I'm feeling and or how to take care of myself, figuring out different ways of kind of getting through those stressful times or kind of either just feeling the feelings and getting through it or like, okay, I need to take a bath right now. I need to make a cup of tea or just whatever it may be. So yeah, it's been profound in different ways for me.
Beautiful. Yeah, people don't realize that once you commit to something, it automatically puts you in a little bit more of a hyper awareness of yourself because you're intentionally trying to pay attention if
Yeah.
different things that you're taking and doing, if they're working and how they're working. So it automatically makes you start to notice all of the other things too. So I love that that's been your experience, Brandy. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank all of you. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Who do we have next? Let's talk with Tammy. I'd love to hear from you, Tammy.
Thank you, Brandy, for being here. I couldn't get to my unmute fast enough. I'm like, I'm in a different space. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
All right, greatest takeaway, Tammy.
Um, Sticking with it because I'm really bad about a joke that I have with my husband. If I ever had to take anything that's life-saving, he would have to make sure I did it every day because I get so busy and I have so much going on in my brain. I'm multitasking all the time. I get sidetracked and I just kind of like forget. And so that was challenging because I've been trying to focus on that with like, taking my supplements and doing other things. Eating wise was challenging, though I'd already been working on cutting a lot of the bad carbs out and stuff because I do love my salty chips. And then I like sweet. My doctor said I was weird because I like both, but not at, it's kind of like depending on my mood, I guess. So I haven't really been craving for that too much because I've already been kind of like cutting them out even prior to this. But I did find that I do need to eat like the sweet potato. I need something with a little more substance than the other veggies because they just, so many times I'm not satisfied after I eat. Even though I know my tummy says it's full, but I just don't feel overall satisfied. So I've been eating more of the sweet potato, which I've been switching off the regular potato anyway, but I definitely increased the sweet potato since I hadn't been eating like a little bit of bread here or the crackers or, any of the other kind of carbs. So
Yeah.
that was good. And my mood is, I'm still kind of like, I'm always tired anyway. So even though I think I said a 7 for my like energy and mood, but I'm always tired. So, but I know I can work. I'm not like so tired that I'm just knocked out for the day. But I'm hoping maybe when I do the second round, maybe that will help with some of the energy. Honestly, this started over about 30 years ago when I worked graveyard shift. And then I got married, had kids, puppies. It's like I've never gotten more than 4 hours of sleep at a time. And it's still even rare that I can sleep more than 4 hours without waking up. Hopefully I can go back to sleep. But like the other day I couldn't. I was up at 4:30 in the morning because I laid there and I knew I wasn't gonna go back to sleep. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping the next cleanse will help. Maybe with that.
Are you thinking of doing the Parify again?
Yes, I'm supposed to be getting, I think maybe this week. So I was hoping to have this week off and then start again next week and do it. Though I will be eating a little more of my other style because I don't think I can do as much of just the fruits or the veggies.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna incorporate more meat because especially since we've had some nice weather, I discovered I was getting really lightheaded. And I think it was because of the lack of the other protein that I normally get and or eat, you know. So I'm gonna definitely add more of the red meat back into eating, but still try to keep out of the other stuff and hopefully not the sweets. It's really hard sometimes to walk by and, you know, not buy that donut that looks really good or the mug something, you know, when I'm shopping and, you know, I do like the Bavarian cream donut and it was a little challenging at times if I saw it there.
Yeah, those are my favorite too, so I get it.
It
Well,
was
I'm
hard.
really proud of you for listening to your body and just making the choice to, okay, next time I do this, I'm going to actually incorporate this because this is what my body was telling me. That tells me that you've really learned to trust yourself and listen to your needs. Because sometimes we can get so focused on a certain type of regimen or something that we neglect what our body's telling us because we're just trying to commit to what the rules are or something. So I'm glad that you're making those shifts. Following that and listening to that is always going to support you throughout this cleanse process as you continue with it for, the rest of your life, hopefully, because we're going to always have to be detoxing at some point throughout the years. So I love that. Beautiful.
Yeah, I did learn I do need that because once I added more of the meat in, I wasn't getting lightheaded anymore.
Good.
So, because with the nice weather, we're on acreage. I have a lot to do outside besides my animals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just getting even more so. I mean, it was like I get lightheaded because I know I overdo it, but this was early in the morning before I could even overdo it. I was just getting started and I was already getting lightheaded. So it
Mhm.
wasn't me not getting up and eating and drinking enough water. It was a little different, you know. So that's the
Yeah.
only thing I could really think of because I was really trying to cut the meat protein out.
Hmm.
So
Well,
hopefully,
now you know what your experience is without it. We would definitely love to hear from you once you do it again and hear what that's going to be like for you once you shift up the diet. So,
yeah,
thank
and I was wondering
you.
because I hadn't really seen a whole lot. I'm not a whole big digger, but I have dug a little bit.
Mhm.
But if I do a second one, like so many people said they were seeing like the rope worms and the flukes and stuff. I never saw anything like that.
Mhm.
So could that be possibly when I do the second round, or I just wasn't that bad? You know, I just don't really have them.
It could be both. It could be, there could be a variety of things. Maybe you don't have a ton of parasites in your body, or maybe the ones that you are leaving are like the smaller microscopic ones. Maybe another one would be more helpful. It just kind of depends. It's hard to say. What would you say, Kim?
Well, you kind of just put them on alert, right? So, and they're deep down in. They can be in our muscle and our tissue, and it can take them a little while. And a lot of parasite companies and practitioners put you on the cleanses for anywhere between 90 to 18 months. It just depends on, what comes out. And I chose not to do that because I don't think people really follow through when they have that no light at the end of the tunnel. So that's why it's like, keep going. My second cleanse, my second real 30-day cleanse was the hardest. That's when I saw the most. I saw
Yep.
a lot when I first started within 3 days, and then I kind of tapered off, and then I waited a few days, and then I started again, and that's when it was the hardest.
So if I do see that, and I know a lot of people talk about like the herxing, which I might have had a little bit because I know I saw some stuff.
Hmm.
If you do have that, besides the drinking, what's a good thing to do if I'm like really feeling fatigued that day and you know because I'm not really sure.
Well,
on-
you definitely want to take the binder. You can take Sustain 3 times a day and you try and sweat it out, get in a cold plunge of some kind, cold bath, and just really like support your pathways. If you do coffee enemas or water enemas or colonics, add those in.
yet for that.
Okay.
So I have the stuff. I just haven't been brave yet for
It's
that.
okay. There's a couple videos that I had to watch before I did it because I'm like, oh, because I didn't have anyone and I was in our trailer and I'm like, gonna lay on the trailer floor. I'm gonna be committed to this and I'm gonna do it right when I first did it. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, just supporting your body.
Okay. So hopefully I'll incorporate that on this next round maybe, and then maybe I'll see more things.
You probably will. From everyone I know that adds the coffee enemas or the water enemas or colonics, you'll see things because they can like hang onto the side of your colon and not always come out and just kind of chill there. I mean, that's where all of the end nutrients, that's their favorite place to be,
Mm.
They don't have to work for it.
Okay. Yeah, that would be my biggest thing.
Mhm.
I guess, I hadn't really seen a lot, and so it was. I'm glad I stuck to it, and I
Good.
I mostly used the little book to write the times down, so I make sure I took them.
Mhm. Good.
I was writing the time, and then that way, if I couldn't remember, I would try to set the time on my clock too, and for when I need to eat or take the Parify, or whatever. But sometimes I forget to set my alarm, so then it was like, oh God, I hope I wrote it down because I'm sure I took it, and then I could go back and say, oh yeah, I did take that dose, so it's been this many, times, so I can do whatever the next step should have been. So, but yeah, it was kind of nice, and I'm so glad for this group because then I wasn't alone on the
Yeah.
new journey. Something I've been looking into for a few years and been hesitant to do. So it's nice, and I'm glad I came across your kit because it definitely was mild. Because some of the other things that I would read, I just glad I didn't experience.
Well,
So
thank you so much for being with us, Tammy. Like I said, we look forward to seeing what your second cleanse is like. So if you stay in the chat with us, please let us know. We want to see how it goes for you.
I'll definitely do that because I'll stay in it.
Okay, beautiful. All right, who's next? Let's see. Sylvia. Let's hear from Sylvia.
Hi, everybody. So I'm so happy to be here. So when I started, I was really scared of some side effects or whatever, because I already come from a very difficult medical situation. So I didn't know if I had any. I haven't seen anything, but and I didn't feel any side effects, which in a way is like, is it working or is it not working? Then I found out that I maybe took more of the dose that I was supposed to. But anyway, all good points because I've learned so much during these 6 weeks. I have my second kit ready. I've decided that I will do the week off and then I will start again for 2 reasons. One, because maybe I thought it could have more effect if it's done just after the first one, which I don't know if it's worked or not. And 2, because I think it'd be easier for me to keep going with the same level and maybe afterwards leave all the good habits into place, because then it's after 12 weeks, which is a longer period of time, instead of going back to the normal myself before. I've been pretty good, apart from Easter yesterday, which I had to have some bit of chocolate of my kids' eggs, but I've been actually quite good. And I really want to do the colonics as well. I haven't got the courage to do it myself. So I had 3 colonics given as a present for me, which I will start next week. And then hopefully I'll find the courage to do it myself whenever I want, because my mom used to do them to me when I was younger. And because I suffer from constipation chronically, it was the best thing that I could do. I was having them every day. But then my mom was not well anymore. And I have my husband saying, do you want me to do it? It's like, no, certain things I have a level of like being shy and these things that I can't. So I have to find my way. But yes, a lot of, you see, when you talk about mood and energy, for me, it's difficult because the meds that I'm on, they give me chronic, like I'm always tired. So I know that it's for that and not actually for the tinctures that I've taken that they're new. So it's quite a hard point for me to understand what is what. But I'm sure that whatever type of detox that my body went through is always a plus. So even if I don't see anything in my book, is a plus anyway. And it's some kind of better and cleaner than what it was before. So it's good point. I on the 8th of June is my birthday, so I already asked for a red light stuff. I haven't decided yet, and I'm asking for your help if these pads that you can put everywhere are better than the mask, as in quality and quantity of red lights at the same time on the same place, because I don't understand much about it. So if anyone who's got them can just shine a light before I made the wrong purchase, because they're similar price if you get a smaller one like this, or if you get the mask, and I don't know what's best. For example, if mainly the place where you use it is the face, I don't know. Food.
Body.
Yeah. Food, I'm okay because I'm on a slimming journey even before the cleanse. So I've been trying to be good the majority of time. I think I will do the second cleanse with the 2 tinctures in one go, because towards the half of these ones, when I merged them and having only ones, it made my life much easier with the craziness of the normal lives that you have. So I think I'll do that, because it's less chance to forget them, it's less chance of getting the 4 hours before, after food, no food right. And if the outcome is the same, then for me it works better. What else? I was really scared before doing this, and I had an amazing time in the group. So thankful for everybody that is in it and all the outcome and all the good things that whoever is more knowledgeable has shared with us. Amazing. So thank you all.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm so
Yeah,
glad you were able to do this. Okay, real quick on your red light. It depends on what they want to spend, but I would recommend, if they're gonna spend, between 50 to 150, get the box one. You
Okay.
can use that for your face. It can sit in front of you. I use the box one when I'm standing in front on my vibration plate, and I just tilt it up, and so it gets right here's red. When I said the mask, it was just because those are like $50, so it just gives you different options of cost. Hygge, right? That's how you say it, Mel, is Hygge?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're like $2.89. You can get them on Amazon. I like there's another Life Pro infrared and red therapy device that's like a wand. So there's a few options, really kind of what your preference is going to be. But I just think that if you're going to do it, you should get at least a box one then.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Another thing that I want to touch on too, when it comes to the tinctures and stuff, is just reminding you guys of week 2 when Kim dove into the tinctures and all of the ingredients that are in them. Kim didn't just design the kit to cleanse the body of parasites. She designed the kit to help with candida, to help detox the heavy metals, to support all of your organs. So even if you haven't seen any worms coming out or anything like that, just you taking the herbs alone has been enriching your body and your organs in so many different ways. So it's still been nourishing your vessel throughout the process. So even your body says thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. All right, let's hear from Gustavo.
Unmute. Am I there? Yes, I am. Hi, everybody. I think I'll just keep it short and say, I mean, the main, I think the most pronounced learning I've had is about doing this with a group of people rather than trying to do my own thing. Because, you know, I've been chasing the dragon all my life, like what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, right? And there's something about being connected to this group where a lot of things just, I think I'm so much better at being empathic for others that when I'm connected to people that are like having some of the same thoughts or fears or things, like it automatically helps me to connect to myself in the same way with a little more grace. You know, like you said, give yourself grace. I really like that phrase. And yeah, there's something about being with the group, like just decades of, okay, if I get through this cleanse, then I'm going to be better. And I just knew I just needed to work on the cleanse and work on forgiving myself for not doing that well and work on getting geared up for doing it more focused down the road. And that in itself is like a illumination, you know, to break past this, something's wrong. If I do something right, then I'm going to be better, you know, to be like, no, I'm in a process of detoxing and just stepping out of that linear notion, you know, that linear notion in itself is one of the core mechanisms of us being so afraid all the time. You know, I think it is that we're doing something wrong, we have to do something right, and then it's going to be better. That in itself creates a lot of contraction, I think. And yeah, being connected to the group and watching myself respond to others, I think just helped me connect to my internal grace, which I don't think I would have done it. I would have bought the kit, tried and done it part way or whatever I would have done, but it wouldn't nowhere near, it would have just not been the same without you gals and maybe a couple guys in there too. But yeah, and I look forward to continuing and doing it, like I've said throughout, with more focus when that energy comes up. So thank you all. Appreciate you.
Well, we really appreciate you being here. You've been really amazing and so helpful, and we've all learned so much from you. So we really appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you. That's nice to hear. I don't hear that
Yeah.
often. Thank
Yeah.
you. I did want to mention to the people that say they don't see anything. I know from my Zen cleanses and things like that. And there can be a phase where the body eventually feels like it's time to do this and start moving out if there are bigger things. But I also know from watching all these other people that test, the physical ones hide really, really well. Just like Kim said, I mean, their bread and butter is to stay hidden. And so there may be a time and a phase where you're like, well, nothing's coming out, and blah, blah, blah. And then who knows when, but you may hit that phase where the body's like, we're doing this. The liver's like, we're gonna start pushing this stuff out now. And so, not to say that everyone has all that stuff in, but I do know it is pretty persistently hidden. I don't know if Melanie and Kim have that same, but I wanted to mention that because people say, I'm not seeing anything come out. So anyways, blessings to y'all. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you. It is true though. They are hidden. They're stealthy. They don't want to be found. They can evade anything. And I'll go a while. I haven't seen one in a while. And then I might have a really super stressful situation happen and I've disrupted their home. And then all of a sudden they'll come out, or I might have eaten a lot of anti-parasitic food, or I've just might eaten something they didn't like and they'll just move out. And that can go for anything. That can go for Lyme. That can go for Babesia, which is a form of Lyme. That can go for physical worms with, rope worms. Like it really can, you disrupt them and they're burrowed down deep. I mean, they're deep. If you think about what you're eating meat wise, and we're telling you to cook your meat, and they're in the body of that animal, and you don't know exactly where the cut of that animal was, and you're eating them, they're deep, you know? So it can take people really a long time. And I feel like when I first saw them the third day after my cleanse, the first cleanse I ever did, it was my first time ever doing any sort of anti-parasitic or bitters because they don't like bitters. So it was my first time, and I had a pain on my right side. That's what triggered me to go and do a cleanse. And as soon as I released them, the pain was gone. But I got the pain back a couple of days later, but then I knew that they were just reforming and releasing, and then they release and they're stealthy still, right? So it really is a thing where everybody does say to me, I never saw anything, or I haven't seen anything yet. Is it working? But it is, because the herbs are getting in your body no matter what. And it's just a matter of where do they need to go and attack in that time and that space? And is at that frequency at that time? And oh, you can add frequencies like at night, you can do anti-parasitic frequencies. Z app is my favorite app. It's free. You can type in whichever worm you think you might have, pinworm, roundworm, flatworm, and it has a frequency for it. It's Z-APP. It's a free download on Apple. And it really is something that works because it's taking the frequency into your body and putting it at a cellular level. So just because you don't see anything, and tell people that, like what Gustavo said, it's really of importance for people to know that the herbs are working whether you see it or not.
Yeah. And another thing too that I also consider is once you do the cleanse and you get your body into that state, now you're keeping your vessel in an environment that they can't thrive in. So it's not just about, cleansing your body from the parasites that may have lived there before, but it's also about establishing an environment within your body that they can't thrive in. That, like, if you were to eat something new, if you were to go have fish or something like that, and a parasite enters your body, it's not going to be able to thrive in the environment that you've now created. So yes, this is us doing some recon from the past, but it's also really supporting you for the future as well.
Yeah, it's so true. Because they don't want to stay in you if it's not going to be favorable to them. And you
Yeah.
can take the Parafy kit prior to eating questionably. I travel with it because I'm traveling right now and I'm eating questionably. It's hard to always eat on point when you're traveling, and I'll take it prior to eating questionably so that they don't want to stay in me. It mixes up in my body, and then it's like, no, we don't want to be in here. She's not going to make us thrive. She's going to make us unalived. So keep that in mind.
Thank you so much, Gustavo. You've been such a joy in this group. You have been such a standout personality throughout this entire experience, especially in the Signal chat with all of the wisdom and just all of the love that you've been pouring out in there. So thank you so much. We've been so grateful for your presence here. All right, let's go over to Gianna. Are you ready? Is now a good time? Okay, let's hear from Gianna.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Sylvia in the chat said, question about food. How good is it to eat pineapple? If so, how much and when? Yeah, pineapple's great. Kim had a whole video on how the pineapples just obliterate the parasites.
Oh yeah, and then we have someone helping us over on RHA now, and she found it and she posted it, and it's gone nuts again. So people just love that pineapple video.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm like done at work, but I was just typing up a note, and then I just felt awkward sharing in there, but then I wanted to share.
Oh, we're so great to you being committed to the call. Thank you.
Well, and hey, I mean, I give a lot of people respect because I think it was Sylvia, it's like midnight where she is right now, so I think we're all making it work, and I feel like that is one of the theme is like you guys said, it's progress not perfection, and to give yourself grace. So I kind of found peace in that myself because I'm an overthinker, so I was stressing out about, the food, and I'm overthinking everything. So I'm like, what if I buy some, sometimes you buy produce and then later on it grows mold or you see it. I'm like, do I throw the whole thing out? Do I chop off the mold? What is soaking it? Does that remove the mold? And I'm like, stressing myself out about that. But just, or even if it's like I'm eating the best I can, and if I'm at a family gathering or something and I have a little bit of like pasta or whatever it was, I definitely found that to be helpful. And also with what Kim had, kind of given us education in one of the first couple of uh, um, videos, like the red artist being kind of like how to help you digest and to help calm your nervous system down. I found that very helpful. I ended up taking that a couple times a day, I believe, to just kind of calm my nervous system down. And and if sustain, like to help our immune system if we found like we were feeling a bit run down. So that too, listening to my body. I'm so glad that I actually came across this because I had purchased the Parify kit before that I knew about this bug out program, and I'm so thankful for it because I bought it because I'm like, no, I know these parasites are everywhere. I want them out. But I just kept like putting it off, and then this group cleanse came along, and I was like, I just need that support because I have so many questions, and I'm like, this would be perfect to have that support and community. So I super thankful for that. And I feel like I'm going on tangents, but I made a list that I'm looking at. So the food was definitely the most difficult. I don't know, I was counting 15, but I seem to have almost about a half a bottle of Sustain left, and then like a fourth of the remaining tinctures left. I don't know if that is accurate or if I was, I don't know. I don't remember missing any, but
Did you do it 3 times a day for all of them? 3 times a day, 15? Okay,
yeah.
so we give you around 40 days. 40 to
Okay.
45 days. I give you more for a couple reasons. One, you can actually do 5 days between every 3 months over the full moon. So you can do mini cleanses over the full moon 2 months in a row. You can keep going if you want to finish the bottles off so that you get a lengthier cleanse. I created more in there in case you had to share with like your child. I wanted you to have mini cleanses. I wanted you to be able to continue. So there is more than 30 days. There's around 40 to 45 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I hope I didn't miss any, but I would do it in the morning first thing, and then I would do a midday dose, and then a third dose, and sometimes I pulse dosed a couple times. I found that was helpful for a busy schedule, but I almost felt like it was a bit more intense. Although I also, another thing that I really love about this cleanse was how gentle it truly was, because overall I was fine. I mean, there were days I was more tired. There were days I felt maybe a little lightheaded. but because the first cleanse I ever did was a Cellcore, and it was probably over 2 years, about 2 years ago now. And I don't think I was eating well. Um, I mean, I wasn't eating like fast food, but I think I was eating, like carbs and um, like a chocolate whey, powder protein thing. So I don't think I was eating well, but I felt like crap. And it was only a week. And my skin, I've always had eczema. It got worse. And honestly, even after the cleanse, it didn't get any better. If in fact it maybe even got worse. It probably was my diet at the time. And I was drinking a lot of water and sweating, and my regular bowel movements. I've never had a problem. But with that cleanse, I don't know if maybe it was the eggs that had hatched afterwards. I don't know if how that cleanse really worked in that regard, if maybe I made parasites angry and then they hatched or whatever. But I'm so thankful for this cleanse because it was so gentle. I feel good. I feel like my skin has definitely improved. It's still, there's still a little bit of like a rashy on my hands, but overall my skin's improved. I feel good. I feel lately I've been feeling kind of a strong muscle twitch, sort of like on my like left upper rib cage. And I'm like, oh, it's like it's strong too. So I'm like, is it a parasite in there? And I don't know if Kim, maybe you can speak to this, but I felt like something lately I was feeling, even maybe the past couple of years, I felt like not heart issues. I don't have any heart issues that I know of, but almost, I don't know if it was anxiety, maybe it's the parasites, but I don't know if I want to call it a heart palpitation, but just weird kind of like anxiety in my chest. And I
Mhm.
wonder if that's like a specific type of parasite.
It could be threadworm or pinworm because that they can live up there. So that's kind of where most of those live, or a roundworm or egg. But if you want to continue, you can continue. Like if you're getting weird twitchy, you can continue to keep going on until you finish those bottles.
So I definitely want to finish them. So
Mhm.
I have another Parafy kit already ready. So I did want to I was thinking of, although I could still finish the bottles, but I was thinking of taking that 7-day window of a break and then starting another 30-day Parafy cleanse. So
And then
kind of just,
you probably have another one then. If you merge the two together, you technically have like
oh
3, right? Or you could
yeah,
just know you're going to go a little longer than 30 days and just finish them all off. So it's really up to your call.
okay.
But your skin looks great. I was
Thank
just
you.
about before
My
you
it
even
was
said anything.
I have to send some. I had took pictures before. My hands, were definitely. I'm constantly washing them at work, so they
Mhm.
always get irritated. And I've definitely seen an improvement. That was the worst part. Was my hands. Um,
If
I
you
don't know if
keep
I
using
think
Sustain, that's going to help your rash. Sustain is like the skin. And then if you add Recover, I don't know if you got the tincture Recover.
I don't have that one. I just have
Um,
the Parafy.
ordered that one, and then that one has oyster shiitake mushrooms in it, and then it has
Hmm,
pumpkin seed, and it has milk thistle, and it's for your hair, skin, and nails. So if you add that with
okay.
Sustain, then and then going forward, if you add Parafy, then add Immune and Recover with your Parafy cleanse, and it'll keep your skin at an ultimate level, and it will keep your breakdown, your breakouts down.
Okay. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, you're welcome. I took oyster and shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms helps remove radiation from your body. There's a lot of studies from when Hiroshima got bombed and shiitake mushrooms came out, bloomed, and fruited, and actually like cleaned the air. And then when they did like a toxicity on them to see when they biopsied them, basically, it had cleaned it all out. Literally, the mushroom went in and just cleaned the radiation out of itself. So it was one of my first heavy metal herbs that I took because I used to take them like consistently before I worm cleansed. So yeah, that one will be your best friend. And then the lymph kit that's coming out, that one I put in some really amazing herbs that will help with your skin. But Recover is specifically for skin. So if you add that in, you could have minimal breakouts.
Thank you so much. I remember you talking about the like Hiroshima, and that's just why nature is wild. I mean, that's
Wild.
wild to me. It's amazing. And I love shiitake mushrooms. I was like sauteing those and eating those like
Yeah.
and pumpkin seeds too.
Yeah.
What was something about the like I think you talked about, I forget if it was in your podcast, but how, you know, when you were living like in nature, or even like you have a house or whatever, in your lawn you find a lot of dandelions or something like that. It's like basically the earth telling you're shedding your skin cells, and the earth saying you need, like, this is the
Yeah.
herb you need.
Yeah. It recognizes your DNA cells and it'll grow what it needs, what you need, because you're shedding onto it. So it just knows what you need. So like my neighbors have a lot of dandelions. I don't. I have plantain leaf, which you just put into our new kit, and they don't. I have a ton of Oregon grapefruit. They don't. So it's like kind of a weird philosophy, but it really is the truth. Earth does know what you need.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Thank you so much, Gianna. We really, really
Thank you.
appreciate you. Yeah, of course. Let's see. Kim Greer, I know you're driving. If you want to hop on and share, absolutely. If you need to focus, we honor that too.
Hi. Sorry, we just got off a plane. But yeah, I will say to what you said, to ease off of it very carefully, because yesterday, you know, I shared with you guys that I've been vacationing and have been so strict and done all the things like to really, really like stick to the program. And so yesterday, with it being Easter, we flew to be with family, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to ask what's in everything today, because I feel like I bring more stress on my body by doing so.
Yeah.
So I told myself I wasn't going to do that. And oh my gosh, last night did I pay for it? Like I did not, I feel like I didn't sleep last night. Like I just was in that like weird wake state, just so anxious. My stomach was in knots. Like it just, I'm sure it was dairy because, you know, there's pretty much, I could tell you that there was probably dairy in everything that I ate, you know, a quiche, and which they did do a gluten-free crust, but like then the grains in the crust, you know what I mean? Just all the stuff that I've avoided. But
Yeah.
I think I mentally throughout the day was telling myself to just enjoy it. And, you know, like you said, and even said my prayers, like, God, let me use what I need and get rid of what I don't, you know what I mean? So there, I feel like a lot of the self-talk I had with myself throughout the day ultimately ended up, you know, kind of, I don't know, backfiring me in the night, because then I just had my head going, I shouldn't have eaten that. I should have just stuck to it. You know what I mean? And in the moment it was great. But so yeah, when you guys ease off, I would definitely say, like, if you're going to do one thing, like just add the one thing, not all of them. But anyhow, with that, like, that's like my one gripe on myself. But yeah, overall, this has been like so great, because I do feel like it's been gentle, but for me, like, yeah, I haven't seen, I do think that I saw some stuff in the very beginning. I'm almost positive that I saw liver flukes. And I think I might have seen like pinworms, but again, I wasn't like digging or anything like that, but they appeared to look like that of what I've seen in photos. But I feel like on a level of like myself and how I feel mentally, and that I feel like that's where the cleanse has been like the strongest for me, because I feel like I feel more present with my child, with my family. Like I feel calmer, you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm doing life, you know, a little bit differently. I just don't feel so reactive to everything as much as I was off of the cleanse. And then I was going to put it in the group chat last night, and I was like, oh, I'll just wait until tomorrow. I was like, and I hope Kim's on here. But I was reading these articles, because I kind of tend to stay away from a lot of, I mean, I'm all about the woo woo. Like, I'm like, wow, like, you know, give me more. I want to hear it. Cause you know, I do believe like all the things are there, like just like she brought up about the dandelion and shedding our skin cells and all that. Like, I'm like, that is so rad, you know? And I do think that we have bodies that are meant to heal themselves, you know, if we give them the right things. But I did come across something that was talking about energetic parasites. And so I was like, like, that's so weird. And I read this article and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But like, is that what I'm purging rather than what I'm seeing in the toilet? You know what I mean? Like, is there a different layer to this that the eye isn't seeing, but what the body's feeling? You know what I mean? Because in a way, I feel like that's what I'm experiencing, because I too am like, I didn't see all these crazy things coming out in the toilet. And I was like thinking I would, or in hopes of like, oh, this is going to be life-changing. It's going to do all those things, which I do feel it has been life-changing because of what I've experienced. But I am wondering on the woo-woo side of it, if there's a level of energetic parasites. And if you could speak to that, maybe Kim, do you know, have you heard of anything, or am I just speaking craziness?
Oh no, it's true.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
true. It's detoxing all energy, spiritual, anything that's like hooked onto you. It's clean out your pineal gland. You're going
Yeah.
through and you're removing some of those parasitic memories because they hold trauma. So
Yeah.
it's more than just doing it in a physical level. I mean, I can speak to like my whole life changed. I
Yeah.
speak to my family for 7 years and I'm literally at my parents' house right now.
Oh
So
my
there's so many things
Yeah.
that it changes because you're starting to rewire your brain, you're rewiring your DNA, you're biohacking, you've gone in and hacked something that's been with you for a really long time. You're cutting ties, your processes are different. So you've really leveled up in like the matrix. You've removed some of that energetic parasitic activity that's been attached to you. So, I mean, it's all very true. You know,
Yeah.
we're energetic beings. We're at a frequency.
Totally.
And when you change your frequency because they lower your frequency, when you change
Yeah.
that frequency and you go above it, you're literally changing and making a ripple effect into your life.
Yeah.
You've done something that like maybe your future self didn't know you were going to do, and so you've literally changed the trajectory of your your future, if
Right.
that makes sense. And none of it's woo woo, right? Because it's
Yeah.
all literally like, this is why I've documented my whole life,
Yeah.
like from 4 years ago to now, like, because you can't deny what you've seen and what I've personally done. Like, you just can't deny it. So
Yeah.
You know,
Agreed.
Kim,
That's like, go ahead.
no, you
I was
go.
just wanting to like, maybe if people, you know, I know so many of us are fixated on what we're seeing in the toilet. You know what I mean? Like, why
Yeah.
am I not seeing all these things? But yet we're feeling this certain way. And for me, that's like, I love this more. Like, I'll take this over this part of it and the feeling that I have over the visual side of it. You know what I mean? Like, and
Mhm.
so when everybody's feeling that, like, that, oh, I didn't see anything. Is this working? Like, maybe like go back and be like, wow, you know, like recap and be like, think about the things that you have seen change in on a deeper level. Like, for me, that's what I'm experiencing. So, but
Yeah.
go ahead, Gustavo.
There's just a movie, a low budget movie where this little boy is with his parent on his backpack and he goes past a McDonald's and the boy says, I want McDonald's. I want McDonald's. And the father says, no, we're not going to go there. And then you see this parasitic entity come out of the back of the boy's head and it just curls up and it connects to the McDonald's sign and he starts screaming for McDonald's, right? As it connects, and then the father turns around and brings him in there. So just thinking about energetic energies and things like that. There's a movie with that in there.
Crazy. I'm gonna go
I'll
look that
share
up
the
now.
thing that I'll share the article that I read a couple and I was just like, okay, this is way like not in my realm. I don't like it. It was way too just far off for me, like intergalactic type stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, okay, I'm gonna tiptoe out of that one. But the one that I did end up reading, it really did speak to me in a way that like was understanding, and it talked about the importance of doing cleanses and that sort of thing. So I was just like, wow, like there is so many layers to this. So I will share that in the group when I'm not driving, of course.
Yeah.
But we can all chat about that in chat, like what we all thought about it, because it was more enlightening for me. Like I was like, okay, like this is real what I'm experiencing. You know what I mean? I'll take that over all of it. So, and I do love this chat because it is nice, like Gustavo was saying, even like I've done my share of cleanses, I've done all the things, and it's hard to either want to keep going or to know if it's doing what it's supposed to, because you don't have anyone to talk to that's doing the same thing. Because if you talk to someone, they already think you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's been so helpful having this group and just having people to chime in with each other, you know. So thank you, Kim and Melanie and Carly and everybody. It's been, and all the people in our group, but this is definitely something I feel that was missing in these types of scenarios. So thank you for thinking of that, because I'm sure you felt this way when you were doing it, right?
Yes.
So,
Thank you for being here, Kim. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kim. We're so grateful for you. And she look how committed. She's in the car and she's still showing up for the call. She just got back into town. We appreciate that, Kim. Thank you. All right, I just want to acknowledge Robin. Robin, you've been with us. Robin said, I wanted to say sorry I haven't contributed so much, but very grateful for sharing. We see you, Robin. I know everybody's on their own journey throughout this process. We're just glad that you've stuck along for the ride. We appreciate your presence, no matter at which degree you've been wanting to share yourself. We always honor everybody's energy and however you want to show up for this process. We're just glad that you're on the journey with us. So, with that being said, if you guys didn't know, this is barely the second round of bug out that we've ever done. So this is a new thing that Rogers Hood has created and initiated in sharing with the Rogers Hood community. So we are constantly learning from you guys. We've already learned so much from you guys throughout this process, and we're only going to continue to refine this experience. So it would mean the world to us if we could get your guys' feedback. Kim, we can have you do that later. We'll pop this into the Signal chat if there's anybody who can't do it now. But if you guys wouldn't mind, we would love if you could take a moment to fill out our bug out survey. That way we can hear from you and learn how we can make this experience even better moving forward for the new people who decide to join, or even for you guys if you decide to join again. So Carly just dropped a link in the chat. It should be a really quick little survey, just a few minutes to fill that out. We would really, 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 really appreciate if you guys could take a moment right now to give us some feedback so that we can keep evolving this for you guys. We'll give you guys a few minutes for that right now. All right, when you guys are finished with that, please drop a 1 in the chat so that we know you guys are ready. Awesome. Thank you, Gustavo. Thank you, Brandy. Beautiful. All right, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. For those of you guys who can't fill that out right now, don't worry, we will drop it in the Signal chat because we want to hear from all of you if we can. And of course, before we close out and I pass it over to Kim, we want to do our 6-week giveaway, our closing giveaway. This was a unanimous decision to do our grand prize giveaway to Gustavo for being so active in this experience, being such an enriching soul to the Bug Out program overall. I know I can speak for everybody here that your presence has been so felt, especially in the chat. You've been such a joy. You've been a wealth of knowledge, and we've just been so grateful for you. At the end, we're like, who are we gonna give the last giveaway to? Everybody's like, Gustavo in the chat. It was like immediately like, Gustavo. So thank you so much, Gustavo. Kim actually is decided she wants to gift you the lymph kit, which right now is actually an exclusive Rogers Hood product. So you'll be receiving the lymph kit. Carly will get connected with you to get your information so we can get that sent to you. Thank you so much for being such a beautiful person in this group. We're so grateful for you. Now I want to pass it on to Kim so that she can just share some of her love before we close out this experience with you guys.
Thank you all for being here and congratulations. So we really want to give you guys the opportunity, if you're not already an affiliate with us, we would love for you to become an affiliate. It's kind of something we decided that anybody that enters into this program, that you can get a code, it comes with a kit, you get 10% off and 10% commission on your sales. So you can use that for your own self. So that gives you some discount off of your own kit when you purchase as well. So if you're wanting to do that, give Carly an email and she'll get you the link over, or you can drop it. Oh, she dropped it in the chat. So you can take that, and she knows your guys' name. So we usually have 1,000 follower count, and we just really appreciate you guys being here. I really love the fact that we're doing this, and we're going to do it at the end of the summer. I have some traveling that I'm doing, so we had to pause it until my travels are over, which will be at the end of the summer. So just really grateful for all of you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kimmy. All right, you guys, this is our final goodbye for our weekly calls, but not final goodbye forever. Like I said, we are going to be keeping the Signal chat open for you guys. We're sending you all of our love, big virtual hugs. We're so proud of you. We hope that you are proud of yourself. Stick with it. Make this a lifestyle. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, your community, your children. You guys learned a lot throughout this process. Maximize on everything that you've learned and really incorporate it into your for the rest of your life as much as you possibly can. So thank you guys so much. We're so grateful for you. This isn't goodbye forever. We're all officially connected on the web now in some way, shape, or form. So if you ever need any of your Bug Out program allies, you guys can find us online and definitely reach out. But we're sending you all our best. We'll miss you guys every week. Bye, everyone.